Colouring with Colourful Crafts. This is the third time I have uploaded this video because I've kept forgetting and mumbling and ruining the whole video, so I'm going to be trying to be very quick with this because I don't have a lot of time to record it in and it just takes forever to upload. Okay, so this is a catch-up of what I've been doing over the last few weeks. I have been doing a lot of work in my junk journal and also in my new creators book. So the first things first, I'm going to move that out of the way and give you a look at this. I've been working on this, really enjoying this. The page I got up to last time was this one, and I've also added the extra page here, which I filled with lots of delightful bird related things to kind of tie them both together. This one was a May inspired double page, and another loyalty card I picked up on my travels. Again, little envelopes and a nice little I was in the art shop and picked up one of these, which I thought might have worked quite nicely with that page. This one here, again, I found this old piece of card. I decided to glue it on. I've gone for a bit of a sea theme. She reminded me of a mermaid, a bit of old music sheet I had laying around. Cut out a few things from the magazines. Put a few more things on there in the back. Stars beneath the ground. Added things that you might find in the ocean. And then this is a card I purchased off Etsy with the watercolour fish. The seller is called Bramble and Olive, I believe, so check them out on Etsy. They do, I think she does watercolour things, and I loved her work, so I decided to purchase that and stuck it in the book. This one was a poem. It's a bit of a funny poem. I don't know why I put it there, but just ignore that. I don't really like that page. This one was another postcard I got off Etsy, I believe. I loved her acrylic paint designs, so I bought this one. I had this hanging around, so I just put on "Be You," and then I added my own quote. You've got to put up with the rain and lots of pain, eventually you catch the rainbow. I did that, and then that was the end, so I had a lot of fun doing that. Moving on to this, I'll show you my Create This book. I've been working on this one quite a lot recently, as you can tell. So this one is really fun. The only thing I will say that has been really annoying me about it is the fact that every time you try and do a page, you have to stick paper onto it, because if you don't, the ink will just bleed through. I've even had occasions where even pencil has bled, kind of has shaded the other side of the paper. It's awful. So whenever you put a page in here, you have to basically stick another page onto the page that's already there, which hence is why it gets so big, so fat and so fast. I never really understood that when I used to watch these. Watched a few other YouTubers do these, and I love what they did, but I've always been like, why is it so chunky? That's why it gets chunky. So if you're gonna purchase this, it's really fun, but do be warned, you will have to use a lot of paper inside. So my first page with my name there, I haven't done that yet, but I plan to get around to it. It's already starting to fall apart. Another thing that I did, I added the customised front cover, added text on the spine, or colour. I made the title and copyright page more interesting and added a personal touch to this page, obviously. Right, so getting into it. Create a fancy name. I created Jess, which is my name. I made it a bit fancy, put some little twinkles. The next one was to create a rule. I came up with 2 rules. I broke one of them, which was to put a thumb stamp on every page. The stamp of approval, rule of thumb, king thumb, or queen thumb in my case. But I kind of didn't really stick with that rule for very long. That went out of the window pretty early on. But I did come up with the second rule of being retro, and I have kept with that throughout the entire book. I do apologise. I must apologise for that noise. That is my partner getting overexcited about the football and making me jump out of my effing skin. Right, so this one was to create a monochrome. Choose one colour and come up with a design. So I used green because I love green and came up with this very 80s theme here. The next one was to create things you liked and things you didn't like. This is pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I hate spiders. Did you not know? I don't like clowns. My medication, because I have epilepsy, I take a lot of medication and it really annoys me when I'm having to down like 7 tablets at night. Don't even get me started. Anyway, there you go. And gaming and old computers with retro, and here's me with my future husband's credit card going shopping. Don't tell him. Then this one is created a music inspired page. So here's all the kind of music I like, and then I put a very retro tape over the top. I did find inspiration from another fellow YouTuber for this, but I've kind of tried to make it a bit more of my own. This was to create a page of garbage, so I put really old things and like little miniature telephone boxes in here, and I don't know if you can see that very well because the camera's a bit dodgy. Haven't done that one. Oh yeah, I did start this one the other day, which was to create letters. So what I'm doing is just sticking on random letters that I found in magazines or in the post when we get sent, you know, any like delivery leaflets. That one. This one was to do a family. It was to create a family. So I did a family of jelly gum bears, and then some vintage old sweet bottles, and then added these stickers I had left kicking around and I didn't really know what to do with, so I did that. Another stripes for that page, tried to make them look a bit retro. I haven't done that yet. Don't, as you can see, really go in order, but create a page for stickers, put lots of stickers of things I liked here. I used to have a PS1 in the 90s. I loved my PS1. Oh my god. We just, it was just wonderful, wonderful memories. Let's moving on to this one. Was to create obscure shapes out of paper. I picked white retro colours and then I just glued them all on. Did it at the weekend, so I put Real Weekend Wonder. Moving on to the next one was to create a pair of twins, or draw a pair of twins. Okay, I didn't draw these, but I had them printed off and I decided to stick them on. So obviously, as you know, it's strawberry cheesecake. And then the background I've done with acrylic paints, or it might have been gouache paints. And I've smudged the Posca pen, waiting for it to dry because it was literally taking so long to dry. This is create straight lines. So I've taken some images of Twiggy and put her in a picture frames. You create kind of designs out of it, and added lots of little arrows and a hat with a big stripe. This was a create a weather-based decor, which I did. Wasn't really happy with how that turned out. I think it looks pretty rubbish, to be honest. But it's okay, you know, what can you do? You can't do everything right. This was an interview. I came up with the idea of a seamstress, and I asked one what the various questions as if it was a job interview, and I came up with this kind of retro-y kind of feel to it, so I quite like that one. Remember, this one was to create, I don't actually know because I've kind of stuck over it now. Anyway, this was like a bit of a, she's a zombie watching Ghost Watch, which is a made up program, but on a 70s static TV, and I just liked it. I liked the whole idea, and then plates on the wall. Oh, I must mention, I had a page in this book. I think it was a fantasy home, and I tried to make a fantasy home, and it went really badly wrong, and it ended up in the bin. So I will insert the picture of what I did, and you can see for yourselves of how absolutely awful it was. So that was my void, was to take it out and to yeah, chuck it in the bin. So that's where my void has gone. Create a page of notes. I went with a pyrophile, I can't pronounce his name, pyrophile, of like something that's happened, which is very mundane, but I've made something out of it. It's about my cat and an earring, and yeah, and we've got a black and white cat, so it sort of worked. I don't know whether you think it does, but that was what I came up with. One suspect in the home, Katie, she's called Katie, meow meow, and she sleeps with her tongue sticking out. Yeah, you know, I just thought it was funny. So this one was the profession. I came up with the profession of Daisy Granger, who travels around the country in her minivan, our car, the Love Bug, chasing rainbows for her passengers. They must pay in love and return. And in return, they get a ride of their lives while they go out chasing the rainbows. And they get free sunglasses and lots of love and flowers. And you can't go wrong, can you, really? That's the perfect job. Create a test. Pink Panther, Blue Panther. Obviously, you can see which hand I used for which. This one was Wonder Woman. Let's create a contradiction. So, fishes in the sky, rainbow path, stars on the hillsides. Yeah, a bit weird, but then this was meant to be E.T. It came out as a contour drawing without having to lift your pencil, so I went over it first, and then after I'd finished I went over it in pen to try and outline it and make it kind of stand out a bit more, but that's what I came up with. I don't really like it at all. Create patterns, I haven't done that one yet. This was to create a physical collection of specific objects. I had some wrappers left over, so I stuck them down, and then on top of that I stuck some stickers that looked quite retro and old-fashioned, and yeah, I thought that worked. This is to create a page for your favourite character, favourite cartoon character. I used to love Postman Pat, so I stuck on Postman Pat and lots of telephone boxes. Next one I have is this one, which is of course of the Mr. Men, except for I've changed Mr. Messy into Miss Messy, which is me, and then Mr. Grumpy, which is my fiance, into yeah. Sorry, I haven't changed him. I've made my fiance into Mr. Grumpy. Now my wall is ruined and there's bad weather going on because he's really not happy, and I'm there because I put paint on the walls. There is a tale behind that, if you're wondering. It does make sense. Okay, and then moving on. This one was to create textures, so I kind of thought, well, I don't really know what to do for that, to try and make it a bit retro. I had a bit of a retro washi tape going on, and then I thought, I'll do like retro colours here, so I got some crayons out, did a bit of that, kind of a bit of everything really, and stuck this on because the crayons have a tendency to rub off onto everything. So there's a bit of tracing paper there. But then I had some old wallpaper from the 80s and various other little bits, excuse me, I put on. This was a suggestion, and it was to make Pac-Man. My partner put Pac-Man down, so I decided to go with that and added a mini ghost and some socks, some stockings, and then of course the Game Boy with all the presents under the tree. See how much has gone through there? Oh god. I think that is it then for that. There's still, as you can see, quite a lot more to do, and I will be keeping you up to date on how that's going. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope everyone is doing well, and I shall be back soon. Bye!